Our live stream here on lichess and Twitch. No FIDE Masters before noon. That's the new rule now. No, I'm just kidding. I said to Acerbate, the rule should be like alcohol. No FIDE Masters before noon. But Acerbate said it's happy hour somewhere every hour. Or something like that, so. Anyway, we've got challenges from the Troll on the Roll, FM Schieberspieler, Simul streamer, who is, yes, believe it or not, streaming after our stream with the Simul at 1:45 p.m. CEST. We're streaming till about 1:30. You guys can stay tuned for the Schieberspieler stream after that. Got a great program for you. But without further ado, we're supposed to be taking challenges. So this is a Blitz challenge stream. 5+3. Casual is the time control. JCS, welcome. What's up, everybody? I'm up. Not a morning person. It hurts. It hurts. I haven't been sleeping well. I think because of the heat. It became hotter. I was wondering why I couldn't sleep, but the temperature went up like 20 degrees in the last couple days. Got to get used to it. It's like summer. Summer in my office, anyway, because it's hot. I live on the roof, and lots of pigeons up here. What's up, Troll on a Roll? Schieberspieler, Sue my hair. So I'm going to take the Troll on the Roll. Actually, there haven't been any pigeons. There's kind of a dearth of pigeons. It's weird. Usually they're up there, like, making noises and stuff. It seems like there's less this year. Schieberspieler, it got colder. Well, I guess today is going down a little bit, but it was very warm the last 2 days. Alright, Troll on a Roll, Schieberspieler, Sumaher, May King March. You got rain in Serbia. There's a chance of rain last night. Slightly different weather down there. We live on the plain here. Troll on a Roll, don't get started, don't be bad, don't be a bad boy today. Try to behave yourself. Don't start with negative thinking. It doesn't work. My Twitch is always laggy. Acerbate donated 1,000 bits. Acerbate with a 1,000-bit donation. Awesome. He's also a tier 3 subscriber. The other side of the Danube. I live on the Pest side. The Danube obviously goes through Serbia. There's some very beautiful places. That's a cool trip, probably, to go by boat down the Danube. Viking River cruises. Always see those tourists here when there wasn't a pandemic. Alright, Troll on a Roll, Schieberspieler, Sumaher, Making March, Trip Chance. Alright, Troll on the Roll. Whatever happened to Saddest Troll and Gladys Troll? Acerbate, thank you, sir. Leading the charge for donations this week. With 1,000 bits, tied with WJ Loof. Acerbate, you're narrowly in second place. I'm taking challenges 5+3. Everyone's welcome to play. We have regulars so far, but you don't have to be a subscriber or regular to play. Bang. It's normal chess. No, it's chess 960. Yeah, one day I want to do that, seeing the Danube through former Yugoslavia. It sounds like a really beautiful trip. I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff. F3. You can go up and down the Danube all the way up into Germany too, the other direction. F3. Ugh, that's horrible. Horrible. So king and queen on the original squares, bishops and rooks are reversed. And the left knight is on a weird square in the corner. Oh, all the way to the Black Sea. Sunny Beach. I don't know. Where does it come out? In, like, Romania? Alright. Ambulances. F3. Chess 960. Yeah, I missed the 7+3 chess 960, but it takes too long. I keep wanting to play knight f6 really badly here. So goes the snail. What's up? I try to just ignore Magnus at this point. He's not interesting. To me, at least. Hopefully he'll step down and a new world champion who's more interesting can come in. D4. I was excited when someone said he retired yesterday. That would be cool. Seriously, what are we doing here? Reinforcing my center is kind of not what I had planned. Time to castle. It's a French. Oh no. The only chance to beat Troll is tactics. He loves establishing his center. That's true. But he has knight f2. Everybody misses queen h4. Cheapos. Everybody loves a good queen h4. Now he has queen a4 check. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. I am not. Maybe he could have played knight g3 instead. Because if knight g3, queen h2, then you can play possibly king f2 and defend everything. This is weird. Bishop c3 check. Oh, this is weird. I was supposed to get my king castled. I just missed rook h1. That's pretty scary. This position should be far too tactical for Troll. With all these open lines, open h file, open half open d file, pieces all over the place. He actually had queen a4 check last move with unclear consequences. No? Queen a4 check, knight c6, d5. Anybody? Was that better? Business. Business with a Z. Not good. I don't know. How is business? Now he's playing queen a4 check. Welcome, Tezek. Would you say that Chess 960 favors positional players or rather tactical players? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Like, it's kind of a good question. I don't know if it's clearly favoring anybody. All I know is that I'm terrible at it. I thought I would be decent. But it doesn't seem clear. I mean, it could theoretically benefit both. Mate. Oh. Is the b4 bishop important? I'm really specializing in development here. b4 bishop wasn't important. But it was important to eliminate the knight on c3, and now his bishop is worse than mine. I still don't know what's going on. I'm very pleased to see an exchange of queens on the horizon. Exchange of queens is welcome. Speaking of which, don't forget there's a Schieber-Spieler simul after this. I thought I was up the exchange. What am I doing? I just blundered my h-pawn? Man, that's dumb. I was in like cruise control. I thought I won a pawn on cruise control. I mean, I thought I was up the exchange. What am I even talking about? I thought I was up the exchange, and I'm like, whatever. I'm just totally winning. And I'm not even up just a pawn. And now I blunder that back. Some bishops are better than others. Welcome, queen trades. Blundered h7, but we get this rather important nugget on e4. Whew. That changes the equation. He could have played rook h4, but then g5. I get it anyway. Bishop on a1 is a little reduced in activity level. Ninja Hator, everyone's welcome to challenge if you have 100 games. Established account. We've got all regulars following the stream, so there is another player challenge me 3-0. THCHS. THC. You're challenging to the wrong time control. I'm not doing 3-0. TH3HS, if you'd like to re-challenge 5+3, please. Okay. I don't know about this decision, but it's interesting. Rolling with Troll. Trollsy Rollsy. Oh, tactics. King e3. Oh my god, my time. I forgot about the neutral who plays for the flag. Absolutely forgot about the clock. I just blundered rook takes c6. I'm still better though. Maybe not, actually. Troll. Time pressure blunder. Maybe Troll's better now. After rook c6, he wins 2 pieces from the rook. Double question mark blunder for my final move. Now you're back in the game. Unfortunately, rook takes a2 is protected. Wow, computer thinks black's better here. I have e5. So the structure counts for something. My structure actually leaves me with an advantage, despite him having 2 pieces for the rook. I have 2 pawns. Okay, we have a million challenges. Suddenly. 3-0 challenge I gotta cancel. Anything rated, I don't play. To keep it universal, we do 1 time control. 5+3 casual. It's at the bottom of the stream. It's not a secret. Casual 5+3 challenges, exclamation point. On the bottom of my stream screen. Schieberspieler, good luck. Let me guess. Semi-Tarash. What are we going to do? No FIDE Masters before... No FIDE Masters before noon. This is the new rule. Wait, what? Igor Kovalenko. Asbury, thank you for the bit donation earlier. 1,000 bits from... Kids with rich parents must hate chess. Rich kids have a built-in advantage. It always seems like most great, successful American chess prodigies have been wealthy. Bobby Fischer being an exception. I never had a chess coach till I was already a FIDE master. A friend of mine was reading Josh Whiteskin's book on learning some book that's been a bestseller. I mean, he was a spoiled kid who had like the best chess coaches in the world, and he still didn't make GM. And he's like whining about how Dvoretsky didn't have a style he liked or something. Okay, dude, whatever. You're like spoiled, wealthy, you had every great chess coach you could possibly imagine, and you still didn't become a GM. Then you're making millions writing books complaining about it. It's really sad. The bottom line, I guess he just didn't have enough talent. I didn't either, but I also didn't have any access to too many elite coaches. But rich kids definitely have an advantage. It's huge to be able to play in like elite tournaments like Gibraltar, Isle of Man, to travel all over the world on your parents' money. I mean, that's a huge advantage. If Sheeperspieler and I could do that, we would be GMs too. Knight takes d4. Bishop takes d4. All I know is that Caruana's dad caused me to lose rating points by getting the USCF to change the rules about rating foreign tournaments. I was pissed about that. So not only money, but taking my rating points away. This rule is still in effect. Last year I lost USCF rating points for playing in the Hungarian team championship. I mean, give me a break. You know, I mean, this is absurd. I'll stop venting now. But there's no freaking way that your USCF rating should be changed based on games with people who don't have USCF ratings. I mean, that's just... Thank you, Caruana's dad. Chess, you know, Morphe was wealthy too. If we're going to vent about wealthy people, we should start at the beginning. Morphe is the first great, like, spoiled rich kid, essentially. Fischer was an exception. I mean, but the thing about Fischer where he had an advantage was the fact that he lived in New York City. Living in New York City in the era when Fischer did, he had access to a lot of good chess players, and even though he wasn't a rich kid, that was a huge factor. Definitely beneficial. Fischer was in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I don't know Wesley, but obviously growing up in the Philippines probably wasn't easy to become a world-class chess player. So that's respectable. What am I doing here? B4 or not? Let's not. Man, I should know this position. But he played A4. He's not supposed to play A4. A4 is slightly unusual. So Sheeperspieler actually started to play the black side of the accelerated dragon. Oh, I'm supposed to play B3 to stop A4. Well, maybe the jury's out on it. You know, I'm not sure that B3 is specifically to prevent A4, but it's possible. I don't know if A4 is good or not. I don't think I ever fully was sure if A4 is good for black or not. Anyway, it's a blitz game. There's no time. Maybe you're right. I was never that confident about it, to be honest. No, this is right. I had like the same game with, rest in peace, Gildardo Garcia. Gildardo from Colombia, who passed away early this year. Very sad. Maybe about 10 years ago, we played in the Continental Open in Massachusetts. Maybe 2012. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was earlier. We had a similar game, I think. What did he do here? Well, I had to eliminate some of those challenges that were the wrong time control, GM Tranquilizer. But, yeah, rook A3, right? This looks right. And you're threatening knight B3, so what's up? B4, knight B3. That's good for you. The ambulance coming. I don't know who it's coming for. I don't know, but I don't honestly know, even after playing the Accelerated Dragon with black for all my last 20 years. Plus, I don't know if playing A4 is good for black or not. Just because you can doesn't mean it's good to do it. But he is right, it's more common to play B3. My move order was weird, because I didn't play B3. I confused him. I guess B3 first. What happened with your challenge? Man, I'm having hallucinations. I'm hallucinating my bishop is a rook. It's like a chess 960 hallucination. That's not good. When your bishop is a rook. Rook e3, knight e3. He had bishop d5, pawn d5, rook e3, for example. I don't know. It seems like it's maybe a tiny bit better for white, but he has more time. He actually doesn't have more time. I thought he had more time. If it's an advantage, though, it's very small. It says no advantage. Wow. No, white is better, no? It's 0, 0, or not? Peter doesn't think so. Yeah, so it's reasonable. I don't know, here it says 0, 0. If I was playing a lower rated player, I guess I would go for the win. But you had that bishop d5, cd5, rook e3. This is what I expected. And now something like queen a7, king h1. You can take here. Oof. Did I miss something? Oh yeah, of course. I can take on f7. Duh. So you have to sack a pawn. Actually. No, you're not. It's equal. Yeah, this is right. You should have done this combination, and it's equal. It does work. Bishop d5. Yeah, I don't know, man. If a4 is the best move, look. There's 134 games here, and Black only played a4 in 3 of them. It is okay according to the computer, though. I think Hildardo did it against me. I mean, the game was so long ago I can't really remember. But we had pretty much the same position. That was a draw too. I mean, white should be like tiny bit better, but I hate blitz chess so fast. Playing positions like this isn't good. You know, the Marazzi is good for white, but not when you have 5 minutes. You need a lot of time to play the same position. Like white has to play perfectly. It's not easy. Not my ideal position for 5+3 blitz. So it's theory until move 19. Yeah, I mean, this is probably my game. I don't know about queen a8, but I think Gildardo put his queen on a different square. Can you choose other squares? It is the main move there. Huh. Well, he was not an expert in Accelerated Dragon either. Knight d5 novelty. Dubious. Yeah, I guess just king h1 is the sort of sensible move. Bishop b3 seems weird. King h1 and white is a tiny bit better. I should keep the tension. It's logical to play king h1. I don't know why I didn't play that. It's not like I'm not afraid of f5. Someone suggested king h8. Maybe that's not a stupid idea. So here I can play this on that diagonal. Anyway, guys, I'm not here to do analysis, so I'll get to some more challenges. But thanks, Schieberspieler. Schieberspieler, people want to know if you've had any good goulash recently. No. But it is one of my favorite Hungarian foods. Actually, I prefer like paprikash, which is more like a beef stew plate rather than a soup. Personally, goulash can be a soup or a sort of, I don't know for a better word, plate. Yeah, I like it. There's also chicken paprikash, which is famous. Yeah, that's cool, dongers. Good food. Tolto kaposta, it's a little strong. You know, the cabbage has a strong odor. I hate when people are like cooking that. It's devastating. But it's not. It tastes good. I prefer stuffed peppers. A little milder. You don't want to be around when the neighbors are like cooking stuffed cabbage. It's seriously not a fun experience. So Queen's Indian, let's sack a pawn. GM Tranquilizer. Speaking of donate, Asterbait donated 1,000 bits today. Goulash on egg noodles. Nice, Asterbait. Nice. That sounds good. No, other countries in the region have good food too. Slovakia. Maybe not Austria so much. Romania has good food. Yeah, Wiener Schnitzel actually. Now you're making me hungry. Can we stop talking about food? It's almost lunchtime here. So black has to take that pawn. You really have to take the pawn. After knight h4, you have to play c6 here. Very important Polugieski gambit. Now black's just bad. Although maybe I should play knight f5 there. I should have played knight f5 first. I'm just drinking some water. I had my coffee already. Just hydrating. No beer or FIDE Masters before 12 noon is the new. No alcohol or FIDE Masters. We let Schieberspieler in there, but it's not fair to play me in the morning hours. How do people act in traffic? I don't have a driver's license. I need to get like a Hungarian driver's license, actually. I've never driven here. I never had a car here. I have an American driver's license, and I drove in the U.S., but I'm a little bit nervous to drive here. I told a story a couple months ago. I have a German friend who lives in Budapest. He was driving me somewhere one time, and he was just, the whole time he was complaining about Hungarian drivers. Germany is like driving centric. You know, they love cars and the Autobahn, and here there's not as much tradition. Yeah, I definitely used to ride a bicycle in Boston. I used to cycle back in the day, and I felt perfectly safe about it. But I have a lot of friends who've had some pretty close calls here. It's not safe for cyclists like a Western city or other parts of Europe. Though they're trying to improve it. It's improving. I would be a little nervous cycling here for insurance reasons. I don't want to do that. Yeah, well, Tranquilizer, it's like America, man. I mean, car insurance is extremely expensive and prohibitive. Totally. And it's a scam. I mean, it's the same thing as, to some degree, it's insurance companies are stealing everybody's money. That's why medical insurance is so expensive. In a nutshell, I mean, insurance companies stealing. I told the story about how my mom's ambulance, like half a mile to the hospital, or a mile to the hospital, costs like $3,000 technically. That shouldn't be like that. You know, that's like insurance companies and other people cheating. But anyways, yeah, I mean, here it's not as much. Insurance company isn't as much. Car insurance doesn't cost as much as in Germany or the U.S. But at the same time, like if you get into an accident, you're not going to be as covered. I always lived in the city, and I don't really like having a car in the city. I had a car in Boston, and it was a freaking disaster. It was so horrible. If anybody who lives in the city, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, if you have to like drive around in circles for an hour looking for a parking spot every night, it's like, it ruins your life. Right now, parking in Budapest is free, and because of the pandemic, I think. Normally, you have to pay on my street to park. Anyway, random conversations here today. Dude, I had 2 cars stolen in the U.S. Got them both back. They weren't professionals. Amateur car thieves looking for joyride. Both cases. I talked about how that happened to me at a tournament in Philadelphia. It was the last freaking round of the tournament. It was a 6-round or 5-round tournament, 5-round tournament, and I think I even might have had a chance for a prize. And right before for the first round, I like walked out to the parking lot to get something from my car, and it wasn't there anymore. I was like, totally ruined my game. Couldn't concentrate. I should have just resigned or like withdrawn from the tournament, and I tried to play. It's hard to concentrate when someone just stole your car. I also found out my dad died in the middle of a tournament game. That was a great thing to have happen years ago. Always good things happen, like right as I'm about to play or in the middle of a game. Anyways, get him piling up on my e4 pawn. Speaking of insurance companies, ambulance is on the way. Is this a good move? No. He's got 96. I almost fell for the worst trap ever. Well, I mean, I intended to play bishop b2, and then I got distracted. But it's really not that important. Why did I play bishop e3, now that you mention it? I don't know, Dongers. I think it's just like I'm not concentrating because of the chat and ambulance sirens and... Yeah, I should have played bishop b2. I don't even understand. I don't even understand why I did that. But e3 is good as well. They're both good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had played bishop e2, I wouldn't have this problem right now. We have an ambulance icon under subscriber things. It's not just because of COVID. The ambulances here are very loud and very annoying. I've been dealing with it for since I started my stream 5 years ago. I feel like European or at least Hungarian ambulances are twice as loud as American ones. But maybe I just am not used to living in the city. I don't remember ambulances that loud in Boston all the time. This sucks. Bishop h6, knight e6. So I don't know, I have to play f3. I have 13 challenges. That's crazy. So welcome everybody to the stream. We're just taking challenges. Universal time control here, 5+3. I gotta cancel the other non-5+3 challenges for non-conformity to the time control rules. Alright. That limits it a little bit.
For the last time, no.
This Friday challenge is for everybody. Man, King March is coming back. Trying to come back. For the love of pawn structure. Oh no. Dude's driving me crazy. He's got the increment thing down. Holy crap. Damn, this guy is freaking good. What is the deal? No wonder he's won against me already twice. Man, I mean, he's freaking fast and strong. Good defense. Unlucky. Well, I don't know about unlucky. A lot of people have like separate accounts that they play Bullet on. I think they just have like a different account for every time control. So you never know. Alright. Oh, Dr. Trip Chance. Sumil Nebra. Alright, Nebra from Croatia. Can I be next? You got jumped over. Oh, I can't keep track of that, man. Where are you? Sumaher. What do you mean you got jumped over? Sumaher snuck in the... Alright. We're not taking challenges according to subscribers, but if you were first in the list, I'll give you credit for that. Perfect move order by Black with Bishop G7 first. Yeah, it's just too many challenges to keep track of. But I will play you next, Sumaher. I don't understand why you're offering me a take back. What's that about? What does that mean? Dude, whatever. What are you doing? Alright, let's just play another game. I'll just resign. Now you're like giving me take backs, dude? Whatever. I sacrificed the pawn on purpose. I don't understand why you would like stop the game and offer me a take back when I'm like sacrificing a pawn. That's just so weird. It's like really bizarre thing to do. I'll just resign. Whatever, dude. It's just totally bizarre. I'm sacrificing a pawn. I guess it's not in the opening explorer. I don't know, but I've played it before. It's a known gambit with black. I don't understand why you're offering me a take back. That's just bizarre, dude. I don't need take backs from anybody. Alright. Bijak is gone again, so I'm going to take the challenge from Tezek. Dude, you've never seen like the mainline symmetrical English where that's a gambit that black plays? I'm playing it with white. It's totally logical move. I probably have tournament games in the opening. I probably have games in the database with that, sacking that pawn. It's just a really weird thing to do, man. I don't understand why you would offer me a take back. When do I do take backs in my games? Alright guys, no take backs. Maybe for mouse slips or something. Greetings, what's up? So this is a positional mistake. Might be a tactical mistake, but I mean e6 is very weak. Etiquette is lost on the internet. You don't like offer masters take backs in online blitz chess. I mean, it's really strange. It should be like, I don't even have to explain that, you know? I mean, it's insulting. It's not nice. He dropped a piece. I'm not going to offer him a take back. Cockatier, you got my joke. If it's an obvious mouse slip, like you play King F1 while you're trying to castle, then I understand. Like that's the only case where anybody should do take backs. And even that's like optional, you know. You don't have to offer people take backs. I think a King F1 instead of castling. Or if I'm playing like a beginner and he's like 1200 or 900 and he drops a piece or something, I'm trying to teach them. Someone who's like 1,000 rating points lower than me, I'll offer them a take back. You know, like you're teaching a total baby how to play chess. You're not going to beat them down with perfect play. They make a mistake, offer them a take back or something. But it's like something a grandmaster does with an 1100, you know. All right, play like Kasparov. How do you remember all 64 square names? Well, I mean, you just play chess for 30 years, and after a while, it's natural. Just give it time. Yeah, the reason why I don't have takebacks turned off is because I'm doing a lot of teaching, essentially. As I said, like playing 7+3 games with 1100s, plus the mouse slips, I could just turn takebacks off altogether. Man, now I have bad memories of losing to someone else here, so what am I going to do? Let's play something else. Okay, this variation, what did I see something interesting recently? What was it? I saw an interesting idea. Karpov, right. So I saw a nice game by Nepomniachtchi where he played like Queen D3. I wanted to try this. Normally I recommend against doing this kind of pin. No, I don't see anything wrong with the Najdorf. It's normal, right? Bishop G5, I'm just experimenting here, but I shouldn't experiment with these experts. I guess I have to play A3. But I'm out of my depth here. I just experimented with the line. I don't know the theory with Queen D3. I've seen one game. I'm just sort of making it up now. Alright. I gotta close the window. It's at least there's no construction. Now it's church bells and ambulances. Extremely loud district I live in. It's hard to concentrate. Not the ideal place to do a chess stream from, but it's better than landscaping and construction. I don't know. It's just so nothing for white here. I guess I missed the boat. Play like Kasparov's score against me has improved rather rapidly. He's won almost all of his recent games. I best take this. I'm only slightly worse with white. This is honestly like catastrophe for white. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really play this line. I don't play... I've been experimenting. I mean, I only ever played the Sozin against the Najdorf. And in the last couple months, I've experimented with blitz games here. A4. This is the first time for this. G3. But I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I've lost almost all the games that I played against people who know any theory here. I expect to lose this game too. Kasparov literally plays like Kasparov. The only way to beat him is maybe an end game. We have a chance at least in end games. His opening seems virtually perfect. Though he plays some weird lines sometimes. He played the G4 thing against my King's Indian, which I went on a rant and told him it wasn't good. He's playing like 7 G4 against the King's Indian or something crazy. But, white is maybe holding equality here if he's lucky. It's funny though in the Najdorf, like this bishop is a bad bishop, but it's still a bishop. So it's still probably not bad. 7 G4 against the King's Indian isn't horrible. Well, that's your opinion. I don't think it's a good choice. He's maybe like the only player, you know, chances are if you're like the only grandmaster in the world who plays a line, it's probably a reason for that. There is always some exceptional people who are willing to play stuff because it's their personal favorite or they've had good results with it. I play like the Smyslov system against the King's Indian, even though I know that it's not great. I'm comfortable with it and I have good results. But at some level, you know, it's just not going to be effective enough. I did notice that. I think one game I saw. But I will argue that it's more important to be comfortable than for something to be objectively good. It doesn't matter as much if it's good or not as if you feel confident and comfortable with it, whatever it is, you know. Practical importance outweighs the objective. You have to be confident with whatever you play, even if it really objectively sucks. I'm equalizing with white against the Najdorf. White needs to go for an attack, dude. If I play h4, he plays h5 immediately, dongers. Actually, King g7 was a bad move. But I mean, I don't want to encourage him to improve his worst piece here. I didn't want to play h4, encourage h5, which actually forces him to do the right thing, which is like make his dark square bishop good. He should probably play for h5 on his own. h4 just like forces him or encourages him to make a good move, which is why I didn't do it. But I think it's not an attack. White has no attack. Forget about that fantasy of an attack. We're just trying to equalize. Our goal is not to lose. If I can beat him in an equal endgame, then I'll try to beat him in an equal endgame. But I don't have any illusions here that I have an advantage. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Magnus Carlsen won a brilliant game with that kind of thing in a not so distant past against somebody. It's possible, you know, I start to have the upper hand and could play for some kind of attack, but I just don't like my control of the center that much. Now I have a decent position. Still, it's not much, but it's something. I didn't feel like I had enough control of the board to go for a kingside attack. I've been worse for like the whole opening. That's also Carlsen's specialty, winning equal endgames. Magnus wouldn't be world champion or 2800 if he didn't have this propensity to be able to beat people from objectively equal positions. That's why you can play the London system with white, you know? And it's okay. Anybody else would like draw every game they play playing that. But Magnus can actually play the London system for a win. Wow. That's some impressive defense by black. Alright. Yeah, crazy. I managed to win this, but I butchered the opening. The only way to beat this guy is in the end game. Wow, it looks like I blundered at one moment. What? I was lost? What? No, I just lost all my advantage. So the engine thinks it's a draw in an ops color bishop endgame. Wow. Really? Black is better after bishop d8? Oh my god. Going after this pawn? Because I can't play f3. Oh, that is messed up. So bishop g5 can't be right. I have to play a4. Wow, okay. That's not the game, though. The game I was thinking of isn't in here. Queen g3, rook d1. Allowing b5. Queen g3 is a move. Gelfand, Kishmatulin. Anyway, I shouldn't play something I really don't know. So he should have traded rooks. And he's coming around. And that's a classic knight or bad bishop maneuver. Bishop d8. So common. Why are you confused? Why does g3 not work here? Well, he's going bishop b6, right? There was some kind of lever or trick where he's getting a passed pawn in that endgame. He could have saved it. I would have had to been careful not to lose there because my f2 pawn is so weak, and he's pushed those pawns down. But in time pressure, I was scared I was going to lose anyway. Make a blunder with the heavy piece on the board. With the rooks on the board, it's much sharper, so I tried to trade the rooks off to be safe. But it was too safe. He would save the game there. Why do you play that knight f3, queen's gambit, and not the traditional knight c3? I play both. Vera Carlson. I play a lot of games with knight f3 on the first move, so I'm pretty much... But I don't have any, any hope of getting an advantage against the queen's gambit declined. Just like the Najdorf, all mainline openings seem like there's no real way to get an advantage. King h8 is a crazy move. That's extremely weird. I guess he wants to play g5. I don't understand what that's about. Not nice to lose in the opening. Sorry, I guess king h8 is just a timeout. It's not the worst move ever. I thought he was going to play g5, but I guess not. I can't imagine what else that move's about. Maybe a mouse slip. Well, king h8 is just a strange move here. Yeah, I mean, possibly in positions where you play f5, king h8 would be logical as well. I guess I shouldn't read too much into it. So anyways, it's hard to find a waiting move for white. h3 is played in these positions. Rook g8. Now, I mean, the whole plan is messed up. I was just kind of desperately trying to find a rationale for king h8, but there is none. I mean, 97 is also... It's also a move. Now he's sorry for king h8 if I play knight 95. '95 wasn't really my plan. I don't know what my plan is. I don't really have a plan. But black doesn't really have a plan either. '97 is played, but again, I'm not sure it's played with rook e8 in mind usually. He could come here. I guess I won't be castling queenside. Tiger Modern. Tiger Slav. So, I started at 11 today. We're streaming till 1:30. Wow, he played c5 anyways. That's definitely not what I expected. He hasn't played. We're not. We had a lot of a5 yesterday in our analysis stream. Lots of references to your favorite move, a5. Now we're getting somewhere. Reminds me of a Smyslov game. I can't remember. I think it was Smyslov against someone good. This looks real juicy. Smyslov Puglievsky, or I don't know, some game where he beat a really strong player with this setup with the two bishops and the queen on c2 and just forcing black to make some kind of horrible weakening in his position. Yeah, there's some good potential here. g5 is not an option for black now. That's a logical try. Damn. Nothing immediate. Has to be a tactic here. I guess just 95. f7 is so weak. Maestro Zord. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please subscribe to the stream. We're going to be back on Sunday with 1 or 2 streams. Tomorrow's my day off. We're going to be back Sunday with Blitz. Blitz arena team battle. I think we'll probably have one on Sunday and a simul on Sunday at 6:30 in the evening. So I have bishop e2, doesn't do anything, right? And I have no tactics here. Black Hole Blunder, another new viewer. Where are my tactics? Nothing. I'm just like... This is even a bad move. I mean, I'm not contributing anything to my position. He's going too far. Wow. Someone suggested h4. Did somebody call for h4 earlier? Dongers? Even bishop f3 is interesting. There's no way he should put his queen on h6. He had queen h4 instead. And if g3, then queen h3. He has to go to h4. His queen is trapped, right? I mean, what's with people playing delayed semi-tower stuff in the Queen's Game of Decline? Yeah, very popular in the 30s. Even before that, actually. Warnacki. I mean, half of Rubinstein's games are like semi-tower-shiz. If you go back to 1907, 1908, all the early part of the 20th century, stuff like the semi-tarash, basically like just after the turn of the century, really popular. But I must have missed the first win. I mean, how could it have taken me 20 moves to trap his queen? I must have missed something big here. How do I not have like a winning move earlier? There's nothing here. Knight e5 is the best move? I don't believe it. Wow. That's my best move. This is my best move. Now, why can't he go to h4? He can play queen h4. He's still not lost. Shenka deep chess. Alright. Deep chess. Let there be deep chess. But unfortunately not in 5+3. Yeah, the semi-tarash is terrible, Warnacki. Rubinstein was beautiful, though. I mean, he played beautiful games. If you were, like, perfect strategically like him, you can almost make it fun. But, yeah, that's tough. Okay, Larson inspired reverse Aliekin's defense. He's not letting me do it. That sucks. Oh well. Now I'm playing the reverse Pierce, which also sucks. We tried, but whatever. It's a reverse Pierce. It is what it is. It's not great. I also play the classical Pierce with white. Almost as boring as the semi-tarash. You don't get to play a5 there very often either. I don't know. I think Vera Carlson, there's an issue with lichess, like losing and picking up challenges from people who disconnect and then get reconnected and stuff. Previously, it would... Did I ever get Bijak's challenge? He disappeared, basically. Previously, it would, like, pick up those challenges, put them back where they came from, but it seems like lately something happened where like challenges are getting not replaced back where they came from. So people are just like momentarily leaving the page. I guess they get like removed from the challenge list. It didn't used to do that. So all of a sudden it's like dropping down to I have 5 challenges, 10 challenges, 12 challenges, 5 challenges. You know, it looks like that. People get like temporarily removed from the list, I suppose. Bishop d5. Sorry about that. Board. We're going to have to transfer to a different plan. It's a timeout. We're up to 10 challenges again. Obviously, I can't play this many games at this time control. Only 5+3. To keep it simple. Kakatiri, you're last? You're not last, right? Kakatiri challenged a while ago. He can't be last. Oh my god, e4. Whoa, he just did that. cd5, pawn f3, so takes on c6, takes on g2. It's not so clear. What about knight g5? Well, you won't go last, Kakatiri. We're not going to get that far. I mean, I've only got an hour. I can't play 4, 8 games, 9 games. So, just asking if you got knocked down, you know, from an earlier position, like Bijak did. I'm not trying to put people ahead of other people. I try to take the challenges as I get them. But if you really were like second and you're now 8th, I would correct it. You got a new chess student this week. Got him at the chess store. Alright, so push, take. Interesting. Aspie, you're a weird dude. Did I ever tell you that? You're having a conversation about pears in the stream. Pears are good for your digestion. I've never been a good eater of pears, honestly. But that's a weird topic to promote here. Do I have another move? Queen b3, maybe. I should just come back to reality. Knight f3. I guess. Did I win a pawn? I still didn't win a pawn. It's just equal material. So sad. How is that possible? Damn. Man, this guy plays some crazy moves. This whole sequence was unbelievable and bizarre. He just calmly takes back on d5, getting his piece back. I must have missed something. But I'm not a computer. There's no way I found the best line. There were just too many options. Statistics would just dictate that the chances of me finding the best variation are very low. Just too many options. Queen b3. Knight c3. The rules for specific endgames? What exactly are you talking about? Wow, this is weird, dude. He's got good tactics. There were tons of tactics in this game already. I haven't really gotten into the Dvoretsky endgame book. I have that. But I'm too brought up on the classics. Whoa. That's a neat idea, isn't it? He's crazy with tactics. Shanka Deep Chess must be like... He must have an awesome tactics rating. If I take it was pretty complicated. He might even have full compensation with that pawn on. Down a rook. But now it's too much. Must stop pawn. Do not enter. Don't want to let him on the 7th. Then it could be annoying to get him out of there. We got him. Tactically oriented opponent. But he's probably playing the wrong line. I mean, honestly, if he's very strong tactically, I don't recommend playing the classical Pierce. I know because I play it. You should play something more aggressive. I mean, it's harder for black against the reverse Pierce. But I would recommend this line for black, like against, you know, for really positional players. If you're really good with tactics, you should be playing something else. A different setup that's more aggressive. Why didn't I just take the rook with the pawn? He had knight takes d4. And I couldn't take on c3 because of knight e2 check. So he's down a rook, but he has like a killer pawn on the 7th rank. And my queen almost doesn't have a square. I'm not really that excited about that, to be honest. We can like look at it for a minute if you want to. But if I've got another way to play, I'm going to take it. Please resign now. Was called. Yeah, he's not down with resigning. How's the king and pawn in game? I know that's a weird question. There should have been a way to mate him. But now there's actually no mate. course, he should resign here. We're all waiting to play. He's playing on down a rook. It's not mate. It's just disaster. I apologize to everybody for this guy not resigning. It's bad form. Down a clear rook. I was going to sack my rook and try to trade rooks to have a 2-pawn up king and pawn in game to expedite like the game being over, but he's not. Man, he's even like stalling now. Wow, that's not cool. All right, and a rematch, of course. All right, so don't know. I'm just going to take the challenges I got, unless somebody's crying and complaining. I'm sure I missed a mate there. It doesn't matter. Ninja Hatter, you've been doing that since the beginning, but you were on the list earlier than it looks like. Yeah, lichess is messed up. It used to keep the challenges in order, and now it's gone. Now that's all a thing of the past, which sucks. People's challenges just like go completely out of order. There is no subs priority today, but they're still getting pushed out of order. I don't know when this started happening, in the last couple of weeks. They would automatically go back to the order they were supposed to be, even when you would get disconnected. But now, like, you can be the first challenger, end up like 12th on the list if you leave the tab or something. But I mean, I do feel for Ninja Hator. He definitely was ahead of most of the people. A3 I've played myself. Yeah, but I don't understand VR Crossing. He's a new guy. We're not taking subscriber challenges today, so hopefully there are new guys. Transgirl Chess, out of 10, how confident are you in Ops Color Bishop Endgames? Like a 9. 8, maybe? I'm confident enough to be an 8, let's say that. I like Ops Color Bishop positions. I actually prefer... I would say like 8 in regular Ops Color Bishop Endgames and like a 9 in Ops Color Bishop Endgames with pieces. Like I like Rook and Queen Ops Color Bishop. But I actually like Ops Color Bishop Endgames. Most people don't. I think they're interesting. But definitely more fun with Rooks and Queens on the board. Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good. So, he's basically playing h3 is a bad move. You don't have time for that. Until that, it probably wasn't so bad. Even a3 could be pretty good, holding up b4. But this h3 is just a patent waste of time. He needs to play f4 there. I mean, I've probably had this position with white. h3 is way too slow. I was talking about this yesterday on my stream that I know this one FIDE master from my team he's 2300 FIDE. He's an excellent tactician, and he's like awkward and bad at end games. It's just not, maybe something that I know you're not talking about all end games, but Maybe it's just some people gravitate towards simplified positions and some don't. I think it's like somehow a different skill set. People that can play really well in like board with filled with pieces, they somehow don't really like the few pieces being on the board type of situation. I don't know. I think I like it more. It's more finite. Um, but I also have like tons of experience. I mean, objectively, that's why I'm better at endgames than average players. I never studied as much as some masters. But Magnus is a natural. I don't know why he's so good at endgames. Was he trained in a certain way when he was young? Is the question. To make him especially good at endgames, or especially naturally strong at endgames. It's a good question. I mean, I don't know enough about Magnus's early training to really say for sure, but it's extremely noticeable. When I played him when he was 15, he was like a Russian grandmaster. I mean, it was ridiculous. I felt like I was playing a Soviet GM who was like 70 years old. He was so confident in endgame scenario. He literally played like an old man who had like 40 years of endgame experience. No, I think it's something, maybe inherent in certain people. Not everybody has this. Did I miss a really strong move? Perhaps. Knight h5. That's a neat idea that doesn't really work. Or does it? This is too fancy. Knight h5, man. I'm getting carried away. White could even play like queen g4, threatening mate in 1. I want to play knight h5, but it's just too fancy. I just almost clicked resign. My mom said the older I get, the less I know. Your mom sounds more inspiring. Alright. But seriously. My bishop on e5 is a pain. I guess the truth is that I'm just equal here. I'm not really better. I want knight h5 to work, but it just doesn't seem to work. I can draw by like trading all the pieces, but how do I win? Knight h5, queen g4. And then what? What's even my plan there? Knight h5, queen g4. This stupid bishop is killing me. a5. No, I don't know. He pre-moved. I'm just hoovering and hoping I can win an equal end game. I don't see anything for black. We're not worse, but we're not really better. Magnus studied Dvoretsky and memorized it. I don't know when Dvoretsky's endgame manual came out, but he probably had lessons with strong players. But what I noticed from him was that he didn't play for tactics at all. He was specifically playing for grind him down endgame technique. I would almost say like avoiding tactics. This was a long time ago though. I mean, he obviously got sharper as he got older. But that's unusual, you know. You're talking about his medium years, actually. I would say in his early years, he wasn't as dynamic. Then he got more dynamic, and now he's gone back to more safe territory. But when I played him in 2006, there wasn't a single tactic in the whole game. I mean, there was nothing dynamic about what he did. He was anti-dynamic, actually. I would have liked for the game to have been more dynamic, but he wouldn't let me have any kind of complication whatsoever. Yeah, he won in a queen ending. Combination of time and a slight edge was too much. But I think after that, in like 2000, whatever, you know, after he was a GM for a few years, he started to play sharply. He started to play more sharp openings and stuff. We had a really boring, like, Queen's Indian, double fianchetto. Like, he played with black. So there's the Queen G4. That's good, right? Well, it looks good, but I don't see exactly how to finish my opponent off here. We are threatening knight d2. He doesn't have queen f3 or queen e2. Looks like he has a problem. d8 is covered, which is good. Yeah, but I mean, Petrosian is like the least tactical player ever. He basically could play games where there were no tactics for entire games. He could play tactics when he had to, but it was very rare. You almost, it's like an art form to play like Petrosian and not have any need for tactics in the entire game, practically. It's not easy to play like that. Finally a blunder. Alright. I've got time for a few more games. I feel like a few of these players have been waiting longer than others, but I can't keep track. I'm just going to take the challenges I got. Petrosian's style is awesome. That was a big blunder, though. Johan 055. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, and girls, please follow my stream and don't forget to subscribe if you can. I'm going to be back on Sunday. We'll have 2 streams on Sunday with a team battle. Hopefully, a team battle. And that'll be in the afternoon at 3 o'clock Sunday, and simul every Sunday at 6:30 CEST, Central European Summertime. Also, I should mention Schieberspieler, our friend, FIDE Master Schieberspieler, is streaming after me. He's, speaking of Schieberspieler, the semi-Tarash, he's hosting a simul after this stream from 1:45. Vera Carlson, I've given up. I'm just taking you next. We're taking the challenges I've got in order. I've given up trying to navigate. Take me first. Yeah, the semi-Tarash again. It's horrible. Okay, this is This is not a semi-Tarash now. He took with the e-pawn. Yay! So it's more dynamic. Much more interesting. And much more aggressive for black. The ED is much more fun to play against than the boring knight takes, which is ridiculously solid for black. Knight takes is just it's just a really tough line for either side. I like the Tarash for white too, but to be fair, it's not really bad for black. Black has to know what he's doing. Admittedly, it's harder to play for black, but if you're an expert, it's alright. Kasparov used to play the Tarash in his younger days. You gotta really know what you're doing. Prem 666, there's a line with force moves with draw. Well, I mean, that's existing in a lot of different openings, lines like that. But there's always some way to get around it, usually. Remember, Kasparov was pissed in a simul in the 90s, or it was like around 1990, he played in a simul where one of the simul opponents like forced a draw with white in the opening, and Kasparov was pissed. What's my opinion about c4 for black? Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better ways for black to play, but there's different forms of it. You can actually do it earlier, and maybe without knight to f6. There's some really early versions, but here the Swedish variation, bishop g2, c4. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it may be as good as the other main lines with bishop e7, castles and whatnot. You know, it may be just as good. It's different. It's probably a typical over exaggeration to say the Tarash is garbage. I like playing against it too, but I'm gonna be a little more circumspect and say that if it's handled by an expert, it's probably okay. I used to play Elmar Magaramov, Grandmaster, in blitz games, and he always played the Tarash, and it's not easy if you're playing against an expert. Try to play a really, really big expert in this opening. It's not so easy. Like, you're just like banging your head on a wall. If they know exactly what they're supposed to do, they might not be able to win, but they can definitely make it very difficult for white to get an advantage. This line, though, is a pain. I used to play 95, and then, I mean, I guess I still can play that. Then I looked at other ideas with e3. The last time I played this, I must have played against Praying Mantis before, perhaps. Alright, we'll play the old way. My old way of playing this was like this Pillsbury bind idea. This is the main line, knight e5. Because if he takes, his d5 pawn is weak. The question is the follow-up. Do you play for f4 or like a kingside attack, or trying to break his queenside with b3? I had a game in a tournament in Budapest like around 2007 with this guy Salim Chitak from Turkey. I think he's a FIDE master. He plays poker too. I saw him a few years ago at the East European Poker Tour. We had a game in the Tarash in the main line of this. I couldn't get anything against him. Bishop e6. I think I played e3 here. I'm pretty sure I played e3. My earliest game was f4, which is a little over the top, very aggressive. I have 17 challenges, guys. Please stop challenging. Stop challenging me. I gotta go soon. I'm gonna actually have to sadly like dismiss these challenges. I never had challenges so many. I'm sorry I can't stream later. You guys can join. I should have announced this earlier. You guys can join Schieber Spieler simul though. Schieber Spieler simul streamer. So here I feel like we've had this game already. It's similar to my game with Cheetak, which I don't remember. There was something with Queen A5 in that game. B3. But it's also possible to play Knight A4 immediately. The preemptive. Preventing C5 before it happens. 60 viewers. Dude, we didn't get a raid or something, right? Sometimes I'll miss my raids. Friday's just a better day. I mean, understandably, my streams in the mornings on Wednesday have almost no viewers. But also people like to play Blitz more than analyze serious chess. That's pretty funny, omnitism. Friday, you don't need pants. This is good, though. I also like playing against Tarash, have a good score. But I'm still thinking against really, really classy experts. The Tarash is okay. It's not a bad opening for someone who likes open games. It's not easy to find a system with black where you get an open position against d4. Yeah, my son does online elementary school in his underwear. It's kind of funny. I don't know. That's not my influence. I tried to tell him to put on his pants, but it's the COVID working from home thing. I try to, take a shower every day, put on my pants. I don't work in my underwear. But I can understand the people that do. I might buy a new pair of pants this year. Seriously. We should give Uber driver a call. It looks like we're in Uber driver minority attack territory. He gave a class on the minority attack yesterday. We analyzed master class by Uber driver, one of our subscribers. Huge fan of Samuel Reshevsky. Minority attack. 2 pawns against 1. This is the result of minority attack. Well, frankly, Sadamasa, it really didn't have anything to do with Kramnik in particular that Kasparov stopped playing the King's Indian. It happened to be Kramnik at that time, but the main point is, I guess, that theory seemed to be in White's favor in the main lines of the classical King's Indian bayonet attack. But most of the developments were originally by other players. It took many years of theory to make the King's Indian difficult to play for black. But a lot of people deserve credit. Luke Van Wely, think about people who played the bayonet attack for years till it was really properly developed. Finally, Ivan Sokolov. So what's up here? Take. Take, take. There. Wait, take. I guess we take the pawns. Maybe not. Maybe we'll hold off a little. Let's try something different. Maybe not rook. Queen takes c6. Praying Mantis is not really 1600. We've been through this before. I almost walked into rook takes e3. Queen takes c6. Rook takes e3. After all that work. Computer thinks it doesn't work. Wow. Queen takes c6, rook takes e3, BFD. The engine says BFD, but it's a draw anyway. I don't want to allow that. So queen e7 is better path to try. So he's still holding. He's 1600, right? 1600 with a 20 CPL, losing on time. Very 1600 play. Virat Carlson finally gets the challenge in. Got to come early, guys. He got flagged. It is a tough, slightly worse position. Antonio, thanks for coming. Sorry you didn't make it earlier. See you on Sunday. I got time for at least 2 more games. I'm sorry, guys, if you didn't get to play. There were a lot of challenges today. And it's a longer time control. I'm not playing 3-0. I don't really do that. I could play more challenges with 3-0. Maybe someday, you know, I'll try it, but it's just not my time control. Okay, knight c6 is a mistake here. What was the deal with knight f6 again? Knight f6 is bad because of e5. I had that in a game once. e6 is standard, but I'm going to go with this. My traditional approach is e6. Pony. The pony is not new. Not a new pony. It's an old pony. Destroy the enemy center. Acerbate. You remember your instructions, right? It's not a Pierce. It just looks like a Pierce. It's just your imagination. Ponzi, it's a scheme. Ponzi is... What was his name? The big Ponzi scheme guy that's in jail? Not the Ponziani. The Ponzi scheme. Yeah, Bernie Madoff. Did he get out yet? Alright, rook e1 castles. Alright, so Acerbate, I was trying to train him on this. Destroy the enemy center. Knight takes e4 is interesting. There are always risks involved. You have to take a risk every time you cross the street to get on the bus. There's a chance that, you know, a speeding car will wipe you out. So this is a risk of some sort. We're engaging in risky behavior. D5, rook h4. So I'm going to play h6. It is extra Piercy. I agree. a6 early is a wasted move. What relevance, right? Like, look at this position. What would a6 do here? Acerbate's been playing a6 in early positions in the Accelerated Dragon. Yesterday I told him, look, you're not allowed to play a6 ever in the Accelerated Dragon. It's not a thing. You don't play a6 99.9% of the time. It's not the Najdorf. I forbid him from ever playing a6. The d5. Strategic ugliness, right? Blocking my bishop on c8. Now he's walking right into this. Maybe it's not good enough? I don't know. Looks good. If rook h4, g5, and you can sack a piece if you want. I don't have a clue. Maybe the computer will come up with rook h4. I was rolling the dice. But I think here we're all right. But d5 is deep. It might be bad, but we'll make it work. I mean, it wasn't specifically necessary to play d5 right away, but I needed to drive his rook off. I guess I could have just played like bishop f5. There are other reasons. d5 closes the diagonal here. There's no more queen b3 check type of stuff. And it's all about the d4. It's a standard idea in the hyper-accelerated dragon. You're ganging up on d4. Now I'm forced to take. Now I have knight takes d4. Whoa. He did that. Crazy. You don't need that h-pawn, do you? Be patient. Wow, he has f4. Ugly but effective. Rook takes. Wow. Rook takes f4. Rook e7. I think I can get away with this. It is a good pawn structure. It's an ideal hyper-accelerated dragon. But I'm allowing his bishop to live. This may be objectively a positional mistake. I missed rook g3, but probably that's not the right move. But he did manage to kind of distract me from whatever I was doing. What was I doing again? I think we've gotten under control except for one thing, that. But there's a problem. I have discoveries here. Does it matter? G5 is a really strong move. That is a really, really, really strong move for white. Crazy. I'm going to have to give him a pawn back. What was my idea here? I don't have an idea. So he's like brilliantly defending. Even though he's down a pawn, he's very active, all 4 pieces. That's probably a mistake, though. You gotta play bishop takes and the pressurizing e7. This looks like a blunder. He also had threats of rook f3 check. Rook g5 was a terrible blunder. I mean, he still has some play going on there. Otherwise. I can also take and play rook b1. So he's lost now. But how bad is it if he plays bishop takes g5? Looks like white's still in the game here. Peter doesn't agree. hg5. I'm winning. Okay, I'm up a pawn. But man, that's kind of a high advantage. I'm 1 pawn up and the computer says that black is winning by 3.5. I didn't feel that. You know, I'm a little bit worried. He's got pressure on e7. 1 pawn up. I can take a second pawn with rook takes, but it looks like white has temporary initiative. My problem, Van Shali, okay, you got 100 games? Good, we'll play. My problem is that I'm pessimistic because I played a lot of strong players. I'm a very pessimistic player by nature. It's like if you played a computer all day long, every day. I was nervous that he had some compensation there. But I convinced myself it was bigger than it was. But there's advantages to being a pessimist, and there's advantages to being an optimist. They're different. I don't think it's clear. I guess maybe being optimistic is bigger advantage, but it has its downsides too. There's a lot of different move orders in this declined Benko that black can play, and it's impossible to even like keep track of them all. I like the way he's playing this. I think this is probably one of black's better lines. When they try to take the pawn earlier, those lines I think are better for white. The declined Benkos make you sad. I never really played anything other than this and the Nescafe Frap attack, which is too crazy. This is my sound option against the Benko. The only game I ever played and accepted Benko, I lost. I should have given it a chance, but I just hate like taking a pawn and losing the initiative for the whole game. Okay, so maybe Tranquilizer plays. Maybe Tranquilizer plays the Benko sometimes. It's not his main opening, but... So, knight takes or queen takes is possible. I don't argue that white has an advantage here necessarily. I honestly don't know what white's supposed to do. A4. Blindly play A4 with no plan, so that my rook has some squares and I can play A5, grab some space. Actually, this is probably the wrong move. I'm not sure. That is not a good option. Black found the worst possible move, trapping his own knight on b6. That's lucky for me. I would imagine this variation is fine for black after a4. I'm not even sure if that's the right move. So he lost a piece. Guys, I have time for, hopefully I have time for one more game. I think so. We should be able to play at least one more game. Now, you're on your own. That's what good old Fritz used to say. Knight a4. Trading pieces? No. Let's develop. It is annoying to be tied down to b2. But he is just down a piece here. For nothing. Trading queens is not gonna save you. Down a piece. Generally I would advise against doing that. Rather not give him anything back, but what am I supposed to play? Can try to give him a pawn back to simplify. This is a blunder. But I'm still winning, even despite the blunder. I mean, I generally don't want to trade pawns when I'm up a piece. So e5. Schieberspieler's back. He's going to host a simul a little bit later. That's why I don't like e5 dungers. These like general rules I keep in my mind. Don't trade pawns when you're up a piece. Don't trade pieces when you're... I mean, trade pieces when you're up pawns. Keeping the rules clear. Trade queens whenever you can. Unless you're lost. And Schieberspieler never has a lost position. That's why he can play by that rule. If you never have a lost position, you can always trade queens. Is that the basic premise? I gave him a pawn. He resigned. Alright, last game. The lucky winner is F Society. If he's here, we haven't had anybody bail on us. Last game for today. If they're present. Another Benko? What's the chance of that? Wow. The F is for friendly. We're going to have the exact same game. The chance of that statistically is what? He's like copying the last player. How weird is that? Now I play queen takes b6. Slightly different. Personally, I've never really been a big fan of the knight on b6. and it gets in the way along the b file. It has to maneuver back to these awkward places like c8 and a8 and a8 to c7 and like b5, or c8 and a7 and b5. No, I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do. What would you do? Everybody's next. Unbelievable. It's the lucky opening. Everybody drops the knight. He trapped his knight on e5. The last guy got his knight trapped on b6. Don't feel bad. This happened to all of us at some point. It happened to me in the King's Indian. It happened to me in a very embarrassing game against Vladimir Kopian on board 1 of a tournament. I got my knight on e5 trapped after like 5 moves in a really weird way. And I played it out until like move 20, but it was hopeless. Yesterday, someone told me that on Facebook, some guy had posted a miniature I lost in a kind of blog about how like masters are capable of losing miniature really short games and stuff, falling for traps. But it's, you know, it happens. Clearly, everybody falls for traps. I lost a game in like 8 moves once. I think I lost one in... I dropped a piece in 6 moves once, in a really bizarre way. That was more like some kind of drug move than a trap. It wasn't a trap. I just flat out like hung a piece with this weird mental hallucination. But when you look up the game where I lost, it turns out, I told this story yesterday, but a lot of the people weren't here yesterday. It was a smaller stream. When you look up the game I lost, immediately it comes up that like 2 grandmasters had lost a piece the same way. Which is weird. But it tells you something about the position. It's like an optical illusion. Black doesn't mind being down a piece. Very like the last player. He's not affected. Yeah, we're gonna end this game and begin the next adventure with Schieber-Spieler, Simul Streamer. Schieber-Spieler's Simul is starting at 1:45. If you guys want to join, I'm going to finish this game up in a couple minutes and raid his stream. Got a nice audience, Schieber-Spieler. Pretty well behaved. Large group. Nobody go anywhere. Join the Schieber-Spieler Simul stream. Well now. Maybe I don't want to play that way. Damn. $15.92, like Columbus. That was 14.92. Columbus with the tricky moves down a piece. Why is my rook on e1? Great Friday. It's not Great Friday, it's Good Friday. Hungarians. Hungarians and their American translation, their English translation. It's a single exclamation. Exclamation. It's not a double exclamation. Schieberspieler. It's like there's the guy who plays in my simul stream, Naj Papa. I didn't realize for some reason that means grandfather, right? Schieberspieler, that's just a way of saying grandfather, isn't it? Or is it like the Godfather? What is that a reference to? The Godfather? But I'm not sure if I get it still. Is it like a standard word for grandfather? It's just grandfather. So the Godfather is Kerestapa. So like for the movie. Okay, but most people like say more informally Naj Apu or something like that. What is Santa Claus? I thought Naj Papa was kind of like a gangster terminology or something. Big Daddy. Honestly. It's some rapper. It's like a Hungarian rapper named Big Daddy. Alright, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you for the games. Schieberspieler stream. Don't leave. We're rating him right now if I can spell his name. If my keyboard will allow it. Don't leave anywhere. We got a simul coming up for you guys. Good luck, Schieberspieler. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks to JCS. Even though he wasn't here today. There's Naj Papa now. I thought you were either Santa Claus or rapper. Not clear it means grandpa. You're not old enough to be grandpa. Alright. 36 viewers ready to raid now. Let's roll. We're raiding Schieberspieler.